The world does not warn you before it tests you. It does not ask if you are ready. It waits. It waits until you are tired, until you are comfortable, until you believe nothing will change. Then life leans in and asks one simple question. Who are you? When things get hard, most people never answer that question. They avoid it. They distract themselves. They run. They call it patience. They call it bad luck. They call it timing. But deep down, they know the truth. Pressure is not the enemy. Comfort is. Comfort keeps you weak. Comfort keeps you waiting. Comfort tells you tomorrow will be easier. Pressure tells you who you really are. If this message connects with you, take a second, subscribe to this channel, and commit to becoming the strongest version of yourself. There was once a man who believed strength was something you were born with. He thought warriors were chosen, different, special. Every time he failed, he said the same thing. I'm not built for this. That lie felt safe. It protected his ego. It gave him permission to quit. Until one day, everything collapsed. Not loudly, not suddenly, slowly. Support disappeared. Comfort faded. Silence arrived. And in that silence, something woke up. Responsibility. He realized no one was coming. No mentor. No rescue. No miracle. Just him and the consequences of his choices. That is where real transformation begins. Not in excitement, but in discomfort. He started training. Not because he felt motivated, but because regret hurt more. His body resisted. His mind begged him to stop. Every excuse returned. But this time, he didn't listen. He learned something important. Discipline is not about motivation. It is about identity. You don't train because you feel strong. You train because that is who you are becoming. Fear didn't disappear. It stayed. But he moved anyway. Days passed. Weeks passed. Months passed. His body changed. But more importantly, his mind did. He stopped explaining himself. He stopped seeking approval. He became quiet. Silence became his strength. And here is the truth few people accept. When you grow, the world pushes back. People question you. Comfort tries to pull you back. Doubt returns, sounding logical. Why so serious? Why work so hard? Why deny yourself? Because comfort has never built greatness. He learned from the fire. Fire does not apologize for its heat. It burns, or it dies. Pain became a teacher. Failure became feedback. Loneliness became focus. He stopped measuring life by happiness. He measured it by progress. Did I show up? Did I keep my word? Did I move forward today? That was enough. Slowly, respect followed. Not loud respect. Quiet respect. The kind you feel when people stop doubting you. When your presence speaks first. This is not about becoming cruel. It is about becoming real. Strong people are not loud. They are calm, grounded, prepared. They train while others sleep. They wait while others rush. Here is the truth. Your future is built by what you refuse to stop doing. Not motivation, not talent, not luck. Consistency. When quitting feels easy, when progress feels invisible, when no one is watching, that moment decides everything. Legacy is built there. If you are listening to this now, you already feel it. The old version of you is fading. That is why it feels uncomfortable. Do not run. Stand still. Face it. Become it. Because one day, life will place weight on your shoulders. And when it does, only the man you built in silence will step forward. He stopped asking life to be fair. Fairness is a weak request. Excellence is a strong demand. The world does not reward intention. It responds to action. He understood this slowly, through repetition, through failure, through days when nothing seemed to change. Progress was quiet, invisible, unimpressive, but it was real. Most people quit here, not because the work is hard, but because the reward is delayed. They ask, is this even working? He asked a different question. Is this shaping me? Because results can wait, character cannot. He learned to separate emotion from movement. Some days he felt confident. Some days he felt nothing. Some days he felt doubt. He showed up anyway. That is where power is built, not in passion, but in persistence. Obstacles stopped feeling personal. They became lessons. When patience was tested, he trained patience. When ego was challenged, he practiced humility. When fear appeared, he stood still and studied it. Fear only controls what you avoid. Once you face it, it loses its voice. Silence became his advantage. No arguing, no explaining, no proving, just work. He realized something most people never do. The mind is either trained or it controls you. If you let it run wild, it creates chaos. If you discipline it, it becomes a weapon. He stopped letting thoughts decide his actions. He let actions discipline his thoughts. And clarity arrived. Not loud clarity, quiet clarity. He knew what mattered. He knew what did not. He understood the cost. Time, comfort, relationships that could not follow him. The path demanded sacrifice, and sacrifice demanded honesty. You cannot become more while holding on to less. The man he was becoming did not chase attention. He attracted consequence. People felt his presence, not because he spoke more, but because he stood firm. Here is the truth most avoid. The world does not test weak men deeply. It ignores them. Heavy pressure means high potential. If life feels heavy, it is not punishment. It is invitation, an invitation to rise. Confidence came later, not first. Confidence followed competence. Competence followed repetition. He earned it. He stopped waiting to feel ready. Ready is an illusion. Commitment is real. Fear did not disappear, but it stopped controlling him. He learned this. Discipline turns fear into fuel. The world is loud, distracting, obsessed with shortcuts. Let it be. Your path is narrow, quiet, demanding. It does not ask for approval. It asks for consistency. He accepted loneliness, not as punishment, but as focus. Few walk this path. That is why it matters. Every day became a test, not of strength, but of standards. Do I keep my word? Do I train even when tired? Do I stay calm when challenged? These small decisions built something unbreakable. Alignment. His actions matched his values. His words matched his behavior. That alignment created power, not power over others, power over himself. Self-mastery is freedom. Freedom from impulse, freedom from distraction, freedom from weakness. The future version of him was no longer a dream. It was being constructed daily. Every hard choice, every early morning, every moment he did not quit. That man was watching, and slowly he was becoming him. Not dramatic, not flashy, inevitable. The warrior is not born in battle. He is revealed there, and the battle is daily, in your habits, in your reactions, in your discipline. This is not about being aggressive. It is about being grounded, calm in chaos, focused under pressure. A man like that does not need validation. He carries certainty, and certainty changes everything. Stand firm, train daily, respect your word, because one day, life will test you without warning. And when it does, you will not rise to motivation. You will fall to your preparation. Make sure it is enough. By the time the world noticed him, the work was already done. There was no announcement, no applause, no celebration, just a moment that would have crushed his old self, and he handled it calmly, not because he felt fearless, but because he was prepared. That is the difference. Prepared men do not panic. They adjust. He no longer needed life to be easy, to feel steady. Peace was no longer borrowed from circumstances. It was built through discipline, sealed through adversity. He learned that honor is not spoken. It is lived. It shows in small decisions, in quiet moments, when no one is watching. Legacy is not created in highlights. It is created in habits. Every time compromise whispered, he stood firm. Not loudly, not aggressively, firm. Most people wait for clarity before they move, but clarity follows movement. He stopped waiting. He acted. And direction revealed itself. Fear returned often, but it no longer ruled him. Fear became information, not a command. He listened, then moved anyway. There will always be noise, opinions, distractions. Let them exist. Your path does not need permission. It demands focus. Becoming dangerous does not mean harming others. It means mastering yourself. It means you can endure discomfort without collapsing. It means temptation does not control you. Emotion does not own you. This level of discipline is rare. That is why it is powerful. If you choose this path, understand the cost. You will be misunderstood. You will outgrow rooms. You will disappoint people who benefited from your weakness. Let them go. The past is familiar, but it cannot protect your future. Stand where you are. Hold your ground. Train your mind daily. Train your body honestly. Protect your standards fiercely, because the man you are becoming has built-in moments of choice. Moments where quitting is easy. Moments where discipline is heavy. Moments where no one would blame you for stopping. Those moments define everything. This is not motivation. This is remembrance. You already know what must be done. No speech can replace action. No words can do the work for you. But words can remind you who you are. You are not weak. You are untrained. You are not lost. You are undisciplined, and discipline can be learned. One decision at a time. One day at a time. Do not rush. Do not compare. Do not explain. Move. Train. Endure. And one day, without warning, you will realize something has changed. Life no longer shakes you. Pressure no longer scares you. You are no longer reacting. You are responding, calm, controlled, certain. That is the mark of a forged man. And when the final test arrives, because it always does, you will not beg. You will not panic. You will not run. You will stand because you have already faced yourself, and you did not look away. Time passed, quietly, without ceremony, and that was the point, because the strongest transformations do not announce themselves. They settle in. The man no longer chased moments. He became consistent. He no longer searched for meaning. He created it. Every morning, before the world demanded anything from him, he demanded something from himself. Show up, stand straight, do the work. Not perfectly, honestly. He understood now that purpose is not found. It is built. Built through repetition, built through sacrifice, built through restraint. There were still hard days, still doubt, still pressure. But the difference was simple. None of it controlled him anymore. He had trained for this life, not the highlights, the weight. When others broke under pressure, he slowed down. When others panicked, he focused. When others complained, he endured. This is what discipline does. It gives you space. Inside chaos, the world will test you again and again. Not to punish you, but to reveal you. And when the test comes, you will not rise to hope. You will fall to habit. That is why standards matter. That is why routine matters. That is why small choices are never small. He understood something final. Strength is quiet. Power is calm. Control is freedom. You do not need to dominate others to be strong. You only need to master yourself. And self-mastery changes everything. It changes how you speak, how you walk, how you decide. People feel it, not because you demand respect, but because you move with certainty. The world listens to men who listen to themselves. He no longer feared being alone. He feared becoming undisciplined. He no longer chased comfort. He chose alignment, because alignment creates peace, and peace creates clarity, and clarity creates power. This is the path. Not fast, not easy, not popular, but real. If you are still here, listening to this, understand this. You were never meant to live small. You were meant to be forged through effort, through responsibility, through discipline. The pain you feel is not weakness leaving the body. It is resistance leaving the mind. Stand tall, keep your word, do the work, even when it feels heavy. Especially then, because one day, long after motivation fades, you will look back and realize something. You did not survive life. You shaped it. And when silence returns, and it always does, you will sit calmly, grounded, unmoved, certain, not because the world became kind, but because you became strong. And that is enough. There comes a point where struggle no longer feels like punishment. It feels like proof. Proof that you are still in the fight. Proof that you did not choose the easy way out. Proof that you stayed. The man understood this deeply. He no longer asked, "Why is this happening to me?" He asked, "What is this shaping me into?" Because every challenge carries a lesson, and every lesson demands humility. Humility is not weakness. It is awareness. Awareness that you are never finished, never complete, never above the work. That mindset kept him sharp. While others grew comfortable, he stayed disciplined. While others relaxed standards, he refined them. He did not fear being passed. He feared becoming careless. Carelessness destroys more potential than failure ever will. He learned to respect time. Time does not rush. Time does not wait. It reveals who prepared and who pretended. The man prepared. He invested in what compounds: skill, health, character. These things grow quietly, but they grow deep. Storms came. They always do. Loss, pressure, moments where quitting felt reasonable. But reason is not always truth. Truth is found in commitment. He returned to basics. Control your breath. Control your actions. Control your response. You cannot control outcomes, but you can control effort, and effort shapes identity. Identity shapes destiny. This is the chain most people break. They wait to feel different before they act different, but action comes first. He did the work, even when emotion resisted. That is discipline. Discipline is not restriction. It is direction. It tells your energy where to go. Without discipline, energy scatters, and with discipline, energy builds. He became efficient, intentional. Every movement had purpose. Every word had weight. He did not waste strength on things that did not matter. Drama, ego, noise. He chose clarity. And clarity brought peace. Not comfort. Peace. Peace is earned. Comfort is borrowed. Borrowed comfort always demands repayment. Peace stays. As the years moved forward, the man became an anchor. Others leaned on him during chaos. Not because he had answers, but because he had stability. Stability is rare. It comes from self-control, from knowing you will not abandon yourself when things get difficult. That is trust, and self-trust is the foundation of all strength. If you do not trust yourself, nothing else holds. He trusted himself because he proved himself daily, quietly, without needing validation. This is the final truth. You do not rise by consuming motivation. You rise by becoming disciplined. Motivation fades, discipline remains, and when everything else falls away, titles, opinions, circumstances, what remains is who you trained yourself to be. Train well, the world will not go easy on you. So become someone it cannot break. Eventually, the man stopped measuring life by intensity. He stopped chasing big moments, big emotions, big reactions. He chose depth. Depth in discipline, depth in focus, depth in restraint. Because shallow effort creates shallow results. He understood that consistency is louder than confidence. Anyone can feel strong for a moment. Few can remain strong for years. That is the difference. The man no longer rushed decisions. He paused. He observed. He listened. Not to noise, but to patterns. Patterns never lie. He learned when to act and when to wait. Waiting is not weakness when it is intentional. Waiting is control. Impulse destroys more lives than failure ever will. So he trained patience like a muscle. Slow breath, steady movement, clear thinking. The world moves fast, too fast. Most people are reacting, not deciding. They confuse motion with progress, noise with importance. He stayed still until movement mattered. And when he moved, it counted. He did not waste energy trying to prove himself. Proving is insecurity. He invested energy into becoming undeniable. Undeniable does not announce itself. It arrives prepared. He accepted something difficult. Not everyone will understand your discipline. Not everyone will support your silence. Not everyone will respect your restraint. That is fine. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be solid. The man stopped explaining his path. Explanation invites negotiation. Standards do not negotiate. He kept his standards high and his expectations realistic. High standards for himself, low expectations from others. That combination creates peace. He no longer felt the need to rush success. Rushing leads to shortcuts. Shortcuts weaken structure. Strong foundations take time. So he allowed time to do its work. He trusted the process because he became the process. Every boring day, every repeated task, every unseen effort, they stacked. Slowly, relentlessly. This is how empires are built. Not through excitement, but through endurance. Endurance is quiet courage. It is choosing to stay when leaving would be easier. It is choosing discipline when distraction is available. It is choosing growth when comfort is tempting. The man knew this, and because he knew it, he stopped fearing long roads. Long roads build strong legs. Short roads build weak confidence. He chose strength, and strength chose him. If you are listening to this now, understand something clearly. You do not need to become someone else. You need to refine who you already are. Remove weakness. Remove excuses. Remove distractions. What remains is enough. Stay steady. Train your habits. Protect your standards. Let time reveal you. Because when the noise fades, and it always fades, only discipline will still be standing. Be that. At the end of the road, there is no crowd waiting, no applause, no spotlight, just a quiet moment of truth. A moment where you look back and realize you did not live on impulse. You did not surrender to weakness. You did not wait for permission. You built yourself. The man understood this clearly. Success did not make him proud. Discipline did, because discipline meant he could trust himself, no matter the pressure, no matter the chaos, no matter the cost. He became the kind of man who does not collapse when life becomes heavy, not because life became lighter, but because he became stronger. That is the real victory, not wealth, not attention, not approval, self-mastery, the ability to stand firm when everything else shakes, to stay calm when others panic, to move forward when fear whispers doubt. This path is not for everyone, but if you chose to walk it fully. Respect your word, honor your effort, protect your standards, because every disciplined day is a message to your future self. A message that says, I did not quit on you. If this message helped you, share it with someone who needs strength right now. Subscribe to this channel for more focused, cinematic motivation designed to build discipline, clarity, and power. And before you go, tell us in the comments, what is one habit you committed to today? Say it publicly. Own it. Live it. Because intention becomes real when it is followed by action. Stay disciplined. Stay focused. Stay relentless. This is not the end. This is the standard.